Hi there, and welcome to the Celeb Tea, the shady truth about Kenya Moore. She has always been the perfect storm of beauty, ambition, and unfiltered drama. From the moment she stepped into the reality television world, crown gleaming and confidence radiating, she commanded attention. With her sharp wit, magnetic personality, and unforgettable one-liners, Kenya quickly became a defining figure on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. To her fans, she was elegance mixed with edge, intelligent, self-assured, and never afraid to twirl into a room like she owned it. But behind the glamour and quick comebacks stood something deeper, a woman who turned her insecurities into armor, who learned early that control and confidence could be her greatest assets and her sharpest weapons. Kenya Moore wasn't just another cast member on a reality show, she was a force of nature. Every confrontation became a headline, every insult a viral meme. Whether she was waving a scepter during a heated argument or firing off a cutting remark with a smile, Kenya made sure no one could ever ignore her. Her journey to fame began long before Bravo's cameras. In 1993, Kenya made history when she was crowned Miss USA, a title that launched her into national fame. For a girl from Detroit who grew up facing instability and emotional distance, that crown represented validation, proof that she belonged, that she could rise above everything she came from. It wasn't just a tiara, it was a symbol of triumph over doubt. After the pageant world, Kenya ventured into acting and modeling. She took on small roles, appeared in commercials, and learned the game of visibility, how to keep people watching and talking. She understood that charisma and camera presence were as valuable as talent. When the Real Housewives of Atlanta came calling in 2012, Kenya saw the opportunity for what it was, a platform not just for fame, but for power. From her very first season, Kenya stood out. She wasn't content to fade into the ensemble. Instead, she presented herself as a polished, witty, unapologetically glamorous woman who knew her worth. Fans were divided. Some admired her confidence and independence, while others saw arrogance and manipulation. But either way, they watched. In a world where attention equals influence, Kenya was winning. Her image, a mix of Southern grace and Hollywood ambition, became her brand. She was beauty, intellect, and controversy all rolled into one, and she knew exactly how to turn that brand into a business. Kenya Moore Hair Care, her signature product line, was an extension of the persona she had built on screen. Sleek hair, flawless presentation, and the promise of confidence in a bottle, it made perfect sense. "I invested in myself," she once said proudly. "We developed the products, and now we're in over 2,200 retail stores." It was an impressive feat, and for a while, it seemed Kenya had successfully transformed reality fame into a legitimate enterprise. But as with many celebrity ventures, the public's expectations were sky high, and the criticism came fast. Every small business hiccup was amplified online. Every rumor of financial strain became another talking point. Fame, especially in the social media era, doesn't grant immunity from scrutiny. It magnifies it. Kenya's efforts to build an empire were dissected under a microscope. What should have been a story of entrepreneurial growth became a public referendum on her credibility. The same boldness that made her a television star now painted her as combative when she defended herself. And yet, Kenya never retreated. When controversies surfaced, including accusations of cultural insensitivity, she faced them head-on, though not always gracefully. Her instinct was to fight, to defend, and to assert control over her own story. That tenacity had carried her from Detroit to Miss USA, but in the court of public opinion, it sometimes backfired. Reality television rewards the loudest voice, but real-world audiences often want humility. Kenya's confidence, once seen as empowering, began to be viewed by some as defensiveness. Her ability to dominate a scene, once her superpower, became the very thing that fueled her critics. Still, she remained one of RHOA's most fascinating figures. The show thrives on conflict, and Kenya knew exactly how to navigate that ecosystem. Her rivalries with castmates, from verbal sparring matches to epic reunion showdowns, became the stuff of pop culture legend. She could eviscerate a co-star with a single comment, and fans either cheered her on or winced in shock. "Does she not know that I am the shade assassin?" Kenya once quipped. "I'll light her up, and I don't even need a fire to do it." These feuds weren't just drama, they were branding. Every argument cemented Kenya's place as a reality TV powerhouse. But over time, her sharp tongue and strategic approach made her appear calculating to some. The same traits that earned her attention also isolated her from the group. Behind the production edits and dramatic soundbites, there was a real woman learning the cost of fame. Producers may have shaped narratives, but Kenya willingly played into them, aware that memorable television moments could translate into lasting visibility. The trouble was, visibility doesn't always equal respect. As the seasons went on, Kenya's reputation evolved. Viewers began to see two sides: the resilient woman who never backed down, and the provocateur who seemed addicted to the chaos. For every supporter who saw empowerment, there was another who saw manipulation. Her on-screen battles became metaphors for her real-life struggles: control versus vulnerability, pride versus peace. Beyond the shade and showmanship, Kenya's personal life revealed a more vulnerable side. Her journey to motherhood, in particular, softened her image in the eyes of many viewers. For years, she had spoken openly about wanting a family of her own, a desire that felt deeply personal, especially given her complicated upbringing. When she finally became a mother, fans saw a new dimension of Kenya: nurturing, protective, and genuinely emotional. But even that joy came with its challenges. In the world of reality television, nothing remains private for long. Every milestone in Kenya's life, her marriage to Mark Daly, her pregnancy, the birth of her daughter Brooklyn, became public property. As her relationship with Mark began to crumble, she faced heartbreak under the scrutiny of millions. Her confidence remained intact on camera, but the loneliness behind her polished exterior became harder to hide. Kenya's entrepreneurial ambitions also continued to attract both praise and skepticism. From the outside, Kenya Moore hair care seemed to thrive, but rumors of financial strain and minor legal disputes fueled endless online chatter. Even small issues, like unpaid vendor fees or delays in production, were blown out of proportion. For many reality stars, such hiccups would have gone unnoticed, but Kenya's image as a perfectionist made every flaw feel magnified. Fame had amplified not only her success, but also every stumble. As time went on, Kenya seemed to recognize that redemption in the public eye required more than witty comebacks or another product launch. It demanded consistency, showing personal growth through actions, not press releases. In interviews and social media posts, she began to reveal glimpses of introspection, focusing more on motherhood, self-care, and emotional peace. While critics remained, there was also renewed respect for her resilience. Behind all the headlines, Kenya Moore's story is ultimately one of reinvention. From Miss USA to reality icon, from controversy to entrepreneurship, she has lived every phase of fame: the glamour, the backlash, and the quiet rebuilding that follows. Her journey underscores a powerful truth about celebrity: that the same traits that lift someone up can also weigh them down. Kenya's life remains a complex mix of triumph and turbulence, a testament to how fragile fame can be when constantly tested by scrutiny. Yet, through every fall and comeback, one thing has remained undeniable: Kenya Moore refuses to be anyone's supporting character. She's still twirling, still standing, and still writing her own story.